Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain,
I'm Lynn.
I'm Juliana.
and today we're doing another of our recommendations to replace a classic game. So the idea with these is if you know somebody who you're trying to get into modern gaming, and maybe they have only played classic games and never played anything modern. These are games that if you ask them, well, what was your favorite classic game? And they tell you this game, these are games that would be of the same type in some way that they would like them enough that you might be able to get them into other modern games and then, branch out to the vast menagerie of modern games that are out there. So for today, the game in question is Monopoly. Now, love it or hate it, and most modern gamers hate it, Monopoly is a game that's been out for ages and ages and is everywhere and is still sold in every store. So most people know Monopoly. In fact, if you're a modern gamer and you've ever had the conversation where somebody says, oh, you're really into board games, you mean like Monopoly, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody thinks of Monopoly. So Monopoly sucks, and it should never be sold, and it should never be played. But here are some great games to replace it. So when somebody says, oh, sure, I'll come to your house for a beer and board game night, and you tell them, don't bring the Monopoly, but I got a different game for you to play. Here's some ones that we think would be really good to get them into the modern games. So, Juliana, would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. So we're starting off with one of my all-time favorite games, Charterstone. Now, Charterstone is a worker placement where you're building up your own charter inside of a larger village. Charterstone can be played from 1 to 6 players. It is a legacy game, so you do play it over, I think it's 12 campaigns, or 12, games. But afterwards you can play it just without the campaign. So you're building up your little charter, and you have money, you have resources, obviously you can go to other people's charters, and you have to pay them things. So it is similar to Monopoly in that way.
The economy, for sure. There's a total economy going on.
Absolutely. The economy is very similar, and I definitely think that if you are into Monopoly, or you know someone who is, you could probably pretty easily get them to play Charterstone, because it is a very simple game. As the campaign progresses, each game, more and more rules get added. So it's not like you start off with a huge list of rules. It's just a few rules to start off with, and then they keep getting added as the game goes on.
No, I didn't have a copy of Charterstone in the house, but we have played it, and I agree. There is an economy, and the economy gets more advanced as you go from game to game. The first game is very simple. And then as you go, it gets more advanced and more advanced as more resources get added into the economy, and as you start to really understand the value of each resource, totally.
Yeah.
So did you have anything you wanted to say about Charleston?
No.
So my first one I was going to throw in is also very much about the economy, and it is Merchant of Venus. Now, Merchant of Venus is a pick up and deliver game. Now, this is not because it's there's no owning property in this, so that part of Monopoly is not what this is. What would appeal to someone? It's the part of Monopoly of the economy because in this you are merchants that are flying around, buying goods in one place, selling them in others, having people pay you to buy passage on your ship, having people contract you to deliver goods to another solar system. And the value of the goods fluctuates, and like there's like a living, breathing economy in this box. And that's the part of Monopoly that sort of economic feel that I think really transitions into Merchant of Venus really well. But it's a much better game. This is a phenomenal game. This was the updated version that Fantasy Flight did a few years ago. I think you can still find it online. And the updated version, in my opinion, was amazing, was way better than the original version of Merchant of Venus, and is way better than Monopoly. So that is my first recommendation to you for a game that replaces Monopoly, Merchant of Venus.
I mean, the bar's pretty low for replacing Monopoly, but,
But this is a good game.
Yes,
But
agreed.
this is a good game.
Hey, my first choice is Lords of Vegas.
Probably the closest on the nose replacement to Monopoly in this list.
Yeah, you are it's the 60s and Vegas is getting built up, and each player is a different, person building casinos. By person, I mean mobster.
Though there's no real criminal activity in this.
But I mean, that's how Vegas was built.
Yeah, true.
So each turn, you flip over a card and you get a property, and then later turns you're able to put a casino on that property. You can do hostile takeovers of neighboring casinos. You can do deals with other players. There's even the paper money that's like the same money in Monopoly, just different pictures on it.
Yeah.
You can go gambling at other people's casinos if you don't have enough money. It's a really fun game, and I enjoy it a lot.
This game is great. And oh my God, is that an on-the-nose replacement to Monopoly? You own property, you have economics, you do deals with other players. That is probably the most perfect replacement to Monopoly.
That's pretty good. Hard to top that.
It is hard. What do you guys do next one?
All right, so my next one is going to be Caverna. You know it, you love it. This game, you are a cave farmer, and you are building up your farm in your cave. You have animals, you have resources, you can build farms and grow crops. You need to feed your family, workers, right? All of that.
So you got resource management.
Yeah, resource management.
You got the building of the farm in the cave, which feels a lot like city building, feels like owning the properties.
Right.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, this game is great, and there also is a 2-player version called Caverna Cave vs. Cave, which is a great option if you just have if you and your partner want to play. But this one plays up to 4, and I think it's a really great alternative, though it does take a lot longer than Monopoly. But
well, it depends on the game of Monopoly. Monopoly can go forever, but this is probably the heaviest of the games on our list. Right. I would say, because this has got a lot going on, but it's really good.
It looks overwhelming, but it's not as overwhelming as it looks.
I would say it's just a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of setup and a lot of cleanup, but once you get the hang of it, it's super fun.
No, it's a very good game.
Yeah.
It is a very good
honestly,
game.
I don't think I've ever won a game, but I still enjoy playing it every time. So
that's the mark of a good game, though.
Yeah, that is. So, yeah.
So, my next one is a newer game. This might be the newest game on this list here. This is Everdell. Now, Everdell is a game where there's a whole lot of resource management, plus some city building, because you're building up your own little village, which is around the center of the forest where the big tree is, where everybody gets the resources and gets new people to come to their community and gets materials to build houses and shops in their community. And there's a total economy going in this. There's the ability, once people get certain buildings going in their communities that you want to use, you can go over and use their buildings in their community to get those abilities to improve your own community. And this is tons of fun. This is just, and again, this is about owning the property, making the buildings, the resource management. Because there definitely is a really good and well-structured economy in this. Pebbles are the most valuable resource, whereas things like twigs are much more numerous, and resin and berries are pretty common. But so some things are a lot harder to get, some things are a lot easier to get, and then some spots are more valuable because they help you to get the harder to get resources. And this is tons of fun. This is definitely one that I really enjoy a lot. I know you guys have really enjoyed this one a lot too.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that is Everdell.
Okay, my second replacement for Monopoly is Murano. Just gonna cover your face. In this one, you are a gondolier in Venice, and you are going around the board and building shops in the middle of the board on the different islands.
You're not really a gondolier. You just move the gondolier to get the actions on the spaces.
But it's more fun to think of yourself as the gondolier.
Because you're moving around, you're building like glass blowing factories, and then you're putting tiles down to show like the shoppers going into your factory, and the color of the shopper's outfit like matters, and it's
because it matters for what type of glass they want to buy.
Yeah.
Which the economy in this is so interesting because you do a lot of city building. You make all sorts of structures and properties, but depending on what color of patrons there are on the particular island you're on, you want to build shops of that color because they will only shop at the shop of the right color. That's really cool. Yeah, and I agree. That is a really good one. So there you have it. Those are 6 replacements for us for Monopoly. So I think that any of these games would be games that you might be able to get someone who only played Monopoly to try out if you're trying to get them into modern games. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns on this video, or if you would like to tell us what are your favorite modern replacements for Monopoly, please put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Kaptain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on!